Guys, welcome back. I am finally back with another makeup tutorial. I feel like it's been so long. We're gonna go ahead and jump right in. I'm starting off with this E.L.F. foundation. This one is in the shade Nude, and I'm using an Hourglass foundation brush just to put it on. And it was at this moment that I was like, what the hell? That's way too light for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Covergirl Skin Milk foundation in the shade Rich Deep and kind of just mix that in to make it a little darker for my skin tone. I'm putting that all over my face, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump right into concealer. I'm using the Makeup Revolution concealer in the shade C7. I actually love these concealers. They're super full coverage, and I feel like they just blend out so smooth. Like, this has become one of my favorite concealers. No joke. I'm gonna go ahead and buff that out and make sure you hit the eyelid with it too, just to get rid of any discoloration. And then I'm going to take a beauty sponge from Real Techniques and go all over my face with that baby just to get rid of any harsh lines or anything. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use the pointy side and go ahead and get underneath the eyes and buff out any lines or whatever. And then I'm going to set with some Airspun loose base powder. This one is in the shade Honey Beige. I'm gonna tap out my under eyes first, and then I'm going to add some powder. At first, I really press the powder in, like really good, you know, and then once it starts to like kind of disappear, I go back in and I add some more powder to kind of thicken it up and bake it. I'm also adding this powder on top of my eyelids to kind of set that concealer so we don't have any creasage going on. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bake my nose as well. I've been doing this lately. Don't ask me why. It just works, okay? So now we're gonna go ahead and jump right in to the eyes. I'm using the Morphe 35B palette first. I'm gonna jump right in with this yellow shade down here in the corner. I'm taking a really big fluffy brush from BEIGE Cosmetics, and I'm doing windshield wiper motions and placing that in the crease area. I'm kind of really just going back and forth with this color and then adding more color as needed. I wanted to get a deeper kind of yellow, so you'll see me kind of work this in for a while, just to kind of get like the pigmentation that I wanted. Again, going in windshield wiper motions and then like circular motions. And then I'm going to take this bluish color right here in the palette. It looks green, which is why I picked it, because it looks blue on the palette, but I figured if you put blue on top of yellow, it turns into green, right? And it sure did. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm placing this deeper into the crease with a smaller, more precise pointed crease brush. Again, I'm working with really small amounts here, so I'm barely picking up any color, working it in, and then I'm going to buff it out with my fluffy brush that I use for the yellow. I'm not picking up any more product while I'm buffing it out. I'm just kind of blending it all together, and then I'll go back and forth just to kind of get the green that I want. Now I'm going to go ahead and start to cut my crease. I'm going to put some concealer right here at the base of my eyelid and then go ahead and look up, and it'll kind of create this little line, and that's where I know like my max line is. Like that's where I need to make my cut crease. And then I'm going to go ahead and set it with some more of that translucent powder from Airspun. And then we're going to do some more eyeshadow. So I'm going to go back in with the same blue shade that we used for the crease. I'm going to go ahead and buff that onto the outer corner of the eye. I really want to make this a little deeper just because it's showing up blue right now and I want it to look green. So I go back and forth a couple of times to kind of add some color, and then again blending it out with that big fluffy brush, not picking up any more color, just blending it out, making it look real nice. And then I'm going to go ahead and take a wet flat brush. This time I'm taking the Morphe 35U palette. This has a lot more shimmer shades in it. I'm going to take this shimmer blue shade right here on that flat brush and place this on the middle of my eyelid. I'm going to place it down in the middle first using the full brush, and then using the tip of the flat brush, I'm kind of going to flick out the edges of the blue to kind of blend it into that green. This can take some practice, a couple of tries. Don't get frustrated, you can do it. So remember just not to use the full brush, just use the tip and kind of just flick it to blend it. And then I'm going to take this shimmery green shade. This is going to go in the inner corner of our eye, and I'm doing the same thing. So I'm going to pack it on with the full brush first and then use the tip of the flat brush to flick it to blend it with that blue that's right next to it. Then I wanted to add like a pop of color to my like crease area. So at first I took this yellow felt tip liner from Too Faced, and it wasn't giving me like the pop that I wanted. I was just like, meh. You know, it didn't look that great. So I'm taking this Urban Decay Gold Rush liquid liner, and I'm placing that on top of the yellow liner just to give it more of a pop. Then I'm going to go ahead and take a small stippling brush, and I'm going to dust off that excess powder that we have sitting underneath our eyes, and then I'm going to set the rest of my face. So I'm using the Pure face powder. This one is in the shade medium, and I'm taking a big powder brush from Real Techniques and just packing that onto the rest of my face. And then it's time for bronzing up the skin. So I'm first going to chisel out my cheeks with this number 7 bronzer. This one is in the shade Caramel. I'm going to use it to chisel out my cheeks, kind of shape them really nicely, and then I'm going to go in with the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I'm going to bronze with that one. The difference between both of them, I'm using a small brush to create more definition with the number 7 bronzer, and then I'm using a bigger, more fluffier brush to bronze, just give the skin more color with the Physicians Formula bronzer. Now for blush, I'm using the number 7 blush. This one is in the shade Apricot Blossom. I'm just applying that to the apples of my cheeks and pushing it backwards. After every step, I like to blend everything together with a big stippling brush. So I do that after bronzer, after blush, and after highlight. For highlight, I'm taking the Jeffree Star Skin Frost highlight in the shade Peach Goddess. I swear, I'm going to have this highlight forever. It is so huge. I don't feel like I'm ever going to run out. I'm just applying this to all the high points of my face. So on top of the brow bone, underneath the brow bone, inner corner, cheekbone, nose, upper lip, chin, all the high points that the light's gonna hit, I want to apply some highlight. And then again, going in with that Sonia Kashuk stippling brush to blend everything together. Now I hardly insert like my lower lash line just because I literally do the exact same thing that I did on my top lid. So for this one, I'm just putting some yellow first and then using like the bluish green shade second, and that's all I do to my lower lash line. The reason why I only do those two is because those are the only 2 matte shades that we used on top. You don't ever really want to put shimmer shades on your lower lash line unless like it looks good, but in this case I knew it wasn't gonna look good, so I just stuck with the matte shades. I'm moving on to mascara. I put 10,000 layers of mascara because I don't wear falsies. I like my natural lashes, but if you want to wear falsies, girl, pick your favorite one and throw them on, okay? I'm gonna use some eyeliner in the waterline just to kind of darken it up a little bit because I didn't like how light it was kind of looking under there. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to go on to curl my eyelashes. I know a lot of girls think that I shouldn't do this after I put my mascara on, but mind your business, okay? Because I'm going to do it anyway. And then I'm going to move on to some lipstick. I'm using the liquid lipstick by Dose of Colors. This one is in the shade Lazy Daisy. Literally one of my favorite shades. It's so natural. So beautiful. And here's the finished look, guys. I'm so happy I finally posted a makeup tutorial. It's been so long. I'm gonna try to get back into it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and click that subscribe button down below, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.